extension and or flexible cords. Temporary heating. All temporary heating equipment, whether it be natural gas, propane, or electric, must be provided with proper clearances from flammable and combustible materials and adequate ventilation assured. Temporary enclosures must be made with flame-resistant materials of low combustibility. Do you see any potential hazards in the photo? Flammable and combustible materials stored too close to ignition sources is the leading cause of job site fires. Flammable materials will easily ignite upon contact with an ignition. A combustible material is anything that can readily catch fire when exposed to heat or an ignition source. Examples include paper, rags, trash, plastics, cardboard. Flammable and combustible materials should never be stored near any ignition source. Also, OSHA specifies flammable liquids may be used only where there are no open flames or other sources of ignition within 50. In addition, know which chemicals can be stored together and which ones can't on the job site. Check the MSDSs for this information. Ensure. Let's take a little diversion to discuss boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion, or LEVE for short. This can occur when containers of flammable gas. As we have learned, improper storage is one of the leading causes of chemical-related fires. Also, improperly stored chemicals can cause a release of toxic compounds. Always read and understand the chemical properties of all chemicals on your job site. Each hazardous substance must be labeled and have an MSDS available, or do not. Never store flammable chemicals with oxidizers or corrosives. Contact with each other can cause a chemical reaction resulting in fire or explosion. Oxidizing chemicals accelerate fires by adding oxygen. All firefighting equipment must be located in highly visible and easily accessible areas. All equipment must be periodically inspected and maintained in good operating condition. Defective equipment must be removed from service, tagged defective, and immediately replaced. Certification. A water supply with sufficient volume, duration, and pressure to operate the job site firefighting equipment can be made available as soon as combustible material. Portable fire extinguishers, known as PFEs. The PFE nameplate offers valuable information. Fire extinguishers are labeled with a pictograph and or a letter of the alphabet. Class A fires are those involving ordinary combustibles. Products such as wood, paper, cardboard, and many plastics. The type of extinguishing media found in Type A fire extinguishers includes water. Class B fires are those involving combustible and flammable chemicals. These include substances such as flammable liquids and gases, gasoline, fuel oil. Class C fires are those involving energized electrical equipment. Class C fires often include computers, motors, appliances, circuit breaker boxes, and similar items. The type of extinguishing media found in Type C fire extinguishers include carbon dioxide. Class D fires are those involving combustible metals. These include metal substances such as magnesium, lithium, sodium, phosphorus. Class K fires. Class K fires are those involving liquid cooking media fires. These include substances such as combustible cooking vegetable oil, animal oils, or fats. The type of extinguishing media found in Type K fire extinguishers include extinguishers must be sized and appropriately rated for their intended use. For instance, a small 5-pound
Why are you ripping up my paper?
Too small to adequately fight. For portable fire extinguishers to be effective tools for fighting fires in the workplace and in the home, people need to learn how to use them. OSHA requires that where portable fire extinguishers are provided for employee use, before
I'm going
any
to call
hot
you
work
the
can
shredder.
begin, extinguishers must be checked daily by the fire watch to ensure they are ready for use. Extinguishers should be checked to verify. Okay, now let's review the different types of portable fire extinguishers. Click on each icon starting on the left to see detailed information on each type. Size up the fire. If you use a portable fire extinguisher to fight a fire, size up the fire and approach cautiously. If it is too large, spreading rapidly, or conditions are present that make fighting the fire hazardous, evacuate the area and let trained firefighters handle it. Always leave yourself an escape route. Stay between the exit and the fire. Do not get trapped. Remember the password. PASS is the generally accepted procedure to use a portable fire extinguisher for fighting a fire. PASS stands for Pull, Aim. Let's take a look at the password more closely. The P in the word PASS stands for Pull. Pull the pin. This unlocks the operating lever and allows you to discharge. A in the word PASS stands for Aim. When using the extinguisher, aim low. Point the extinguisher nozzle or hose at the base of the fire. The first S in the word PASS stands for Squeeze. Squeeze the lever below the handle. This discharges the extinguishing agent. Releasing the lever will stop the discharge. Some extinguishers have a button that you press. The second S in the word PASS stands for Sweep. Sweep from side to side. Moving carefully toward the fire, keep the extinguisher aimed at the base of the fire. Okay, now let's review PASS one more time. Pull the pin. Pulling the pin unlocks the operating lever and allows you to discharge the extinguisher. Some extinguishers have other devices that prevent inadvertent operation. Pull the pin. Pulling. Aim low. Point the extinguisher no. Squeeze the lever below the handle. This discharges extinguishing agent. Sweep from side to side. Before you begin to fight a fire, make sure everyone has left or is leaving the building. Make sure the fire department has been notified. Make sure the fire is confined to a small area and that it is not spreading beyond the immediate area. Make sure you have an unobstructed. OSHA requires that a fire extinguisher rated not less than 2A be provided for each 3,000 square feet of a building under construction. Extinguishers should be centrally located to limit travel distance from any point in the building to 100 feet or less. Once a fire extinguisher has been used, it must be removed immediately from the job site for recharging and recertification by a licensed fire equipment repair facility. Even after a very limited discharge of an extinguisher, it is critical to get it inspected and recharged. Once a fire extinguisher has been activated, it will lose its pressure and become completely discharged in a short period of time. A minimum 1/2 inch diameter garden-type hose, no longer than 100 feet in length and equipped with a nozzle, may be substituted for a 2A rated fire extinguisher. This 1/2 inch water hose must be capable of A fire extinguisher rated not less than 10B shall be provided within 50 feet of wherever more than 5 gallons of flammable or combustible liquids. Firefighting equipment compatibility can be a problem and must be addressed prior to an emergency response. Sizes, styles, threads, and fittings differ from one region or city to the next. Demolition on construction sites is a very hazardous activity. During demolition activities that involve combustible materials, fire protection systems During demolition or alterations to any building, the integrity of the automatic fire suppression sprinkler system must be retained as long as possible. These sprinkler systems provide the ultimate protection from a fire and should never be taken out of service unless absolutely necessary. The operation of sprinkler control valves shall be permitted only by authorized persons and after formal notifications have been made. Any modification to an existing sprinkler system should be expedited so that the automatic protection may be returned to service as quickly as possible. Sprinkler control valves shall be checked daily at the end of the workday. Standpipes are pipes that run the complete height of a building designed to supply fire water to every floor. Required standpipes must be installed and put into service as soon as applicable laws permit. They must be maintained as
I love it. It's so funny. You get cold out, you stutter. It's great. Finally, everybody showed up. I know they were summoned. Come if you know. Don't call for them, because they'll come. I love Stephanie. She's the best. I'm just jelly beans. So, I've got stuff to say. Really quick growing up. They were any of the lives. Never seen them. I can't really comment on the situation. I don't know anything. Because you are, and you deserve, because it's the truth, though, actually, it's the truth. Yeah, your truth is gonna hurt, because your truth sucks, because what you're doing sucks. She's happy, she's telling you the truth. That's how I am. Good question, could be asking you the same, what's the truth? Diane, we all saw it. You look back into the lake, dude. There we are. Often they came, so they said, here she comes. Here's the real her coming. The bid see you next Tuesday. That's bullshit.
Employers have multiple responsibilities under the Occupational Safety and Health Act. After all, employers direct and control the workplace and project work and are in the best position to ensure a safe and healthful workplace. Some of the most important include the following. Provide a workplace free from serious recognized hazards and comply with standards, rules, and regulations issued under the OSHA Act. Inspect the worksite and examine workplace conditions to make sure they conform to applicable OSHA standards. Make sure employees have and use safe tools and equipment and properly maintain this equipment. Establish or update operating procedures and communicate them so that employees follow safety and health requirements. Provide medical examinations and training when required by OSHA standards, such as the Respiratory Protection Standard. Records of work-related injuries and illness.